Speaking of those delicious crispy ring of vegetable goodness, you didn't think we leave them out, didn't you? Is there any better way to eat an onion than in their deep fried, battered ring form? You can go for a simple milk and flour batter, but given that they're a classic bar food, you really need to try beer battering them to experience onion rings at their best. A&W is creative with helping to popularize them across the state as a fast food side, but recipes can be found dating back as far as the early 1800s. If an onion ring was good enough to stand in as a wedding ring for Marge Simpson, then it's good enough for us. Just give us a whole plate. Alright, to start with, you're going to need one large, either the white or yellow onions. It has to be a large size. We're going to peel the onions. I'm going to be removing this size of the top and the bottom. You can evenly leave it on the root. It doesn't really matter. Hopefully, onion's gonna make me cry. We got the onions just peeled. We're going to cut into the bite-sized slice. Okay, use it with the sharp knife. Don't let the onions gonna make me cry. The onions just sliced in, we're going to separate. Just in case to separate the onions after you just slice. Alright, the onions just separate, we're going to finish the rest of the ingredients. In the mixing bowl, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Then I'm going to put it in 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm also going to put in 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm just going to give this, stir this around with a fork, or you can also use a little whisk. Alright, we're going to take the separated onion. You want to coat into the flour mixture. That allows to cover. Just you want to get 1 by 1 piece. You gotta shake off the excess. You want to put it onto a cookie rack lined with aluminum foil right onto the cookie sheet. We're going to finish coating it on the rest of the onion. Finish lastly, we're going to put it into the remaining flour. We're going to use it that I beat 1 large egg. This one has slightly beaten. And 1 cup of cultured buttermilk. Has to be like low fat, fat-free, or reduced fat that I'm going to use it for. Get right into this. I like to use the rubber spatula to scraping the excess buttermilk. Going to stir that around to get a nice smooth batter. Just want to get that excess raw flour everywhere. Give that a really thick or smooth, just you making for the beer batter. Now I'm going to dip the batter into the breadcrumbs. Now I'm going to use it. I spread it with 1 cup of plain breadcrumbs. I have only Italian styles because if you like for the Italian flavor, but it doesn't really matter. I put it into the shallow plate, or actually if you use any kind of size of the plate. And here's the onions has been already coated with flour, just looks like this. Now this is gonna be a messy pie. So let's put the flour coated onion into the batter. I'm gonna drip out the excess batter. I'm gonna use it with a fork. Can you see the batter just really thick? Hopefully it's gonna be almost all the way to that. We're going to dredge it into the breadcrumbs. I like to use it with a spoon to cover with the breadcrumbs all the way to the batter. I just like to pick it up with the other fork after you just coat it with the breadcrumbs. Place it back onto the rack. Has been overlined with a cookie sheet. I'm making you guys for just a close up right ahead. I hope you can be able to see it. Here it is, that's the one that I caught it first. Alright, we're going to finish dipping the rest of the onions and we're going to dredge it with the breadcrumbs. Alright, we're almost done for that. Let's put the last ring of the onion. Hopefully the batter's gonna be very thick enough for just like that one. Of course, still have the lots of breadcrumbs. The deep fry will be on the way for that. All finished cooking with all the onion rings. You got some leftover batter and breadcrumbs. We got plenty of that. And now we're ready to deep fry. We're going to put this into a big sauce pot. Then we're going to put it into the cooking oil that I'm going to be using with the canola oil. Or in this case, I'm going to use it with the non-stick skillet. I want to make sure to reach the temperature for 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And what that was, you're going to check that to see how much they tempered. If you don't have a thermometer, what you like to do, you can also use a bamboo skewer, or you can also use a wooden spoon. It's all perfect to reach the temperature for 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to use this handy dandy tongs. We'll be ready to carefully deep fry into the hot oil. Alright, here we go. I'm just going to do the little by little on the ring. You want to deep fry for 2 to 3 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. You don't want to get a splatter of the hot oil. So I just flipped the onion over. It's going to be nice and crisp. I don't want to get overcrowded with the onion rings. Then we might be too close with that. When it's ready, it's going to be nice and golden brown. You're going to put it onto the 2 layers paper towel lined with cookie sheet. That way will allow us to drain off the excess grease. Here you go. I just lined with the 2 layers paper towels onto the cookie sheet, very large one. Hopefully the onions can be nice and crispy taste with the flavor of the buttermilk. Hope it's going to be turning over. You can smell that. That way, like I said, allows to drain off the excess grease. So I think it just looks perfect now for that. Just gonna put it onto this, drain off the excess oil. And we'll be ready to serve the delicious onion rings. And here's the finished crispy deep fried onion rings. Make sure to serve these while they're hot with lots of ketchup or your favorite dipping sauces. Enjoy! Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Worldwide Campus News and Entertainment. Then ring the bell to see all notifications about the new videos and the latest video.